Good evening. How are you guys doing on today? It's a Saturday, you know what I'm saying? I know most of y'all getting ready to go out and have fun and do all that stuff. But it is some things that I have, excuse me, been wanting to come on here and talk about. I just haven't had the time nor the energy to come on here and talk about them. But since I figured I was by myself and I have time, that I would elaborate, on a few things. Okay. I don't know if you guys have noticed, ladies, this is really who I'm talking to. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there is an all out assassination on black women, like for real. And it always has been. It's just getting worse. And now more black women are waking up and recognizing what's really going on. And if I'm looking this way, it's because I'm looking at myself. So excuse me, I'm like very vain. So forgive me. But I remember back in 2013, I made a video. I didn't upload it because I felt like I was going to get attacked. I made a video because I was deeply into studying. That's when I first got into metaphysics. It was like about a year, almost 2 years after I got into metaphysics. And I was studying ancient Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And I realized a lot of stuff that was going on just by looking at the pictures and staying in tune with my God self. You know what I mean? My higher self. And I noticed that it was a lot of phallus worship. For those of you guys who may not know what phallus means, which I'm sure most of you guys should, is penis. Okay. It was a lot of dick worshiping going on, not by females. Okay. Contrary to popular belief, but it was by males. It was a lot of male worship going on by males. Okay. And I was like, this is some weird stuff. You know what I mean? It's a lot of homosexuality. I see this, you know what I'm saying? But I was afraid to put it out because I just knew I was going to get attacked by men, especially men in the conscious community. So I was like, I am super scared to put this video out because I do not want to get attacked. I was not spiritually and mentally ready for anything like that. I was not emotionally ready for that. And I still have it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was back in 2013, and here we are in 2022. I've been sitting on this video all this time, and I may put it out, you know what I mean, and just call it like a throwback. But it was a lot of homosexuality going on back then. And last week, I was just sitting around, just, I've been in this healing state of being. And I was just sitting around, and I was like, well, I just been watching a lot of movies, especially a lot of older movies. So I was watching the movie 300. And I remember looking at this before, and I was like, well, this is some weird stuff, but it didn't hit me the way it did the other night. And Xerxes, his part on there, he was so into male worship. Like, and I realized, I mean, like he had all the beautifying, he had the makeup on, he had the hoops all in his face and the bangles around his neck and just the way he was dressed and the way he presented himself. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this has been going on for a long time. And I realized that kneeling, okay, at somebody's feet has nothing to do with bowing down to them, showing them reverence. It has something to do with giving head. You guys may not agree with me, but I know exactly what my spirit told me. And I know that the God in me will not lie to me. My problem is I don't never be listening to it. That'd be my biggest issue. And I'm like, oh my God. It has, and I noticed it in the part where him and Leonidas first met, you know what I'm saying? Their first interaction. Just the way when he was behind him and he had his hands on his shoulders and just the whole energy. I was like, this has nothing to do with kneeling to me like I'm your king. It has something to do with you bowing down. You gonna worship me first of all by giving me head. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it made me think back about the video I made. And I was so afraid to put it out because I realized it was a lot of male energy going on in the conscious community back then. And it still is, honestly, but it was just, I don't know, it was just, I don't know, the energy just wasn't right to me. And I could put my finger on it, but I didn't want to say anything. I was afraid to say anything because I didn't want to be attacked. And so it made me wonder, like, because I remember after that, I kind of fell off. You know what I mean? Like, I fell off my path. I fell off everything. My energy changed. My whole life just went in a downward spiral. And I'm like, maybe I could be reaching, but maybe, just maybe, something made sure that I didn't put that video out. Just maybe something interfered because I was on to something. You know what I'm saying? And my whole life just took a different turn for the worst. I got extremely depressed. Well, that's another video, but nonetheless. So I realized this and I'm just like, oh my God. And if you pay attention to what's going on today, and I'm not just gonna say just with black men, it's with every man, but we're really seeing it with our black men as black women. Like black men, and not all black men. I'm not saying all black men, but I am speaking of the majority. Okay. The majority of black men hate black women. They hate them. And even though I don't glorify Tupac because all his songs was not positive, one day Brenda's having a baby, another day I wonder why he call you bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not glorifying him, but he did make a song that says we're gonna I think that was keep your head up. We're gonna make a race of babies that hate the ladies. You see what I'm saying? So if you see this, like black men or like don't take black women out on dates, with not all black men. I said the majority. Uh, um, we're not paying for this. We don't want to do this. And they want you to just give them sex. And a lot of them just going around here spreading, making babies, which they've always had. You know what I'm saying? And just the culture, when you see the way they dress, the things that they wear, their accessories, the way they treat each other versus the way they treat us, that is male worship one on one. One on one. Okay, ladies? And they hate us because they are lovers of themselves. And for people who are into Christianity, we all thought that God was talking about everybody, okay? And I'm not a Christian, but I'm going to speak on this. Lovers of themselves. What does that really mean? You know, it makes you think, it appears that it will be talking about humans, right? No, 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 baby. It is talking about men. It is talking about males. Those who have phalluses, those who have penises, those who call their things dicks, longs, cocks, and all that stuff. Men will become lovers of themselves. And that is what's been happening for a long time now. That is what's happening for right now, like on a grand scale. Like you can see the hatred that men have for women, especially us in the black community, because you see what's going on right here. You see men are more so playing the victims nowadays. You see men more so trying to get with women that are go-getters because a lot, I'm not saying all of them, but if you get mad about this, this is because this is about you. You see what I'm saying? I've met some great black men who are men, not boys in men's bodies, but actually men. And we see this today. They bash us. They say we're not agreeable. They say we're not marriage material. But women are waking up and we're finding out all this was a scam. Getting married, having babies, wanting to be a housewife. All these things benefit males. They do not benefit us. It barely benefits us. There are some of us that are successful in a marriage, being a black woman, being married with a black man. Some of us are very successful in it. Some of us are semi-successful, but a lot of us are not successful in our relationships with our own kind when it comes to marriage, let alone relationships, period. They don't want us. They want each other. And again, not all. I have to specifically say not all, because the first thing most of them is going to want to come and text. Are you talking about the black men? And that's what's wrong with you. And you a hater and you hate black men. I don't hate men at all. I love me some men. Okay, I love me some men. But the problem is, men are lovers of themselves and have been for a long time. It's just been slowly but surely introduced, and now it's like a cancer. It's metastasized and it's not healing, and it's not going to heal. Men love each other. This is why we see the behaviors of men beating on women. I mean, beating them. Okay, now she jumped on him. He's defending. I mean, beating him. I mean, beating them. Men running around here having all these babies, have to sleep with so many women. Why do you have to sleep with so many women to prove you're a man? Either you're questioning if you think you're a man, or you know you're really not, but you're just trying to appear and put the illusion up there that you are heterosexual, that you like women when you secretly desire men. And that is so rampant in our community. We can come up with all the theories, and so you can come up and say, well, Lucifer, this is why our community is doing this. And Lucifer, this is why our community is doing that. And I don't want to hear that shit, because yes, all that does play a part in it. But when you look back, when it was just us ruling and controlling things, this was going on. Men have always oppressed women since they have taken over. Since they have taken over. Since they have taken over. Okay. Men have always oppressed women when they have been ruling. When men started ruling, and you heard me say started ruling because they wasn't always ruling. When men started ruling, they end up oppressing women. You have to keep the smarter one down in order for you to be a successor. Okay. And I hate to say that, but if that is what's happened, the weaker species always oppresses the stronger species, the more dominant species. Okay. Because in order for us to keep this merry-go-round going, in order for us to keep this circus going, this world stage going, we have to oppress the ones that bring in the actors and the actresses to the world stage. And I think most of you know what I mean when I say that. I know I'm going to sound cruel when I say this, and I don't care what anybody thinks, but I really feel like we should stop giving them children. And I know a lot of y'all are going to think, oh my God, no, that's not, you trying to exterminate our race. No, I'm talking about all people, not just us, but we need to stop bringing in the ones who are going to hate us. We are the gatekeepers of life. I'm not saying men's semen is not needed, because it is needed to connect with the egg to form. Okay. But we are the gatekeepers of life, ladies. It's no coincidence the homosexuality is here on this planet. It's no coincidence that abortion is here on this planet. It's no coincidence that miscarriages happen here on this planet. There's no coincidence that children die on this planet. It's not. We're not looking at the things because we're looking at it with human eyes, and we're not looking at it with the eyes of a creator, the eyes of a God, the eyes of an owner of a world, a universe. We're not looking at it like that. We're looking at it with human eyes, like, oh, things are so cruel, when really they're not. We need to stop allowing tadpoles, aka sperm, to enter through the gates of heaven. Okay? We need to stop allowing this. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care how y'all feel. Y'all can go to Home Depot, get a ladder, and get the fuck over it. I don't care. If we stop bringing, and then you can bring up all the scenarios. They used to kill them. If it was a male child, they would kill it. I mean, we could say that, but how's that really going to work when some of them are going to be hidden? Even if they're raised by women, it's a possibility, okay, that somebody's going to come out the same way. I just feel like we just need to stop it all together, because this is a female-dominated world. It's a female world. It's a feminine world. But we live in a male-dominated society. That's why I say, oh, it's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman. No, it's a woman's world. And if we didn't have all these males conglomerating against us and these pick me females, okay, because they just as bad. And I'm not trying to be. I was a pick me at one time when I didn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? But I learned what I was doing and I corrected my behavior. These pick me's is just as bad. They are just as bad. Okay. And this is the problem. Not all males, again, not all males, but the majority of males want to keep women oppressed. This is why they're getting mad, because we're waking up and we're discovering the real deal. But it's still a lot of pick me, so I, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. And you know what? I'm single and been single for a long time at this point. Like, I was dating, but I even stopped doing that. I'm satisfied with where I'm at. I've already been married in my life. You know what I'm saying? I've already dated. I done had 3 children. They're all grown. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in my life, if I die without having a boyfriend or a significant other or a man in my life or husband, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm really still married, by the way, but we're not living together. We're living in separate spaces, which works out better for me. Okay. And him as well. But yeah, we need to stop bringing these. And I'm not saying that because I'm up in age or nothing like that. I'm saying that because you've been getting the same results. Why not try anything different? This is insanity. We keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, and it's just not happening. We live in a big ass insane asylum, y'all. Wake up and smell the coffee. This is the bitter truth. See y'all on my next.